will tell you this much. Shopify for the outside person is complicated. It's like there's a... Damn it, I keep hitting the thing. What up, y'all? It's Sam at Then Can Designs here with another video to help your small business reach its big goals. In this video, we're going to be talking about DIY. That stands for Do-It-Yourself Website Builders. I'm talking about Wix. I'm talking about Shopify. We're coming for y'all today. I'm going to tell you about my journey with them, how it led me to WordPress, and actually in the end, you'll hear about why I decided to become a website designer myself. This one's for my innovators, my future makers, and my risk takers. If that sounds like you, stick around because I guarantee you're going to get something out of this video. Let's do this. It's been an exciting week. I got a zit for the first time since I was 16. I also stepped on my glasses. I'm not sure if they're going to make it, so I'm sad. But it made me introspective and it made me go back on the journey of how I came to wanting to be a website designer. So I want to take you on that journey, and along the way we're going to talk about those DIY, do-it-yourself website builders out there, because I hear so many people say, wow, I'm just going to build the website myself. And I say, okay, tell me how that goes. And I'm going to tell you how it went for me. Flashback. I have a friend who has a backflow prevention business, a little small business, and he has a website. And his website is, it's okay, right? It's a Wix site. His sister made it for him, and it gets the job done. I have another friend, and he has a Shopify website for a high-end barber business that he has. And his site is also pretty good. And I also have another friend that just set up one of those Google site pages for their business. And again, it's functional. Now, we have 3 sites that pretty much do the same thing. If you have a warm lead for your business, that means somebody is coming looking for your business, then it will help them get from point A to point B, from looky-loo to paying customer. They all get the job done for that. And that's great. All these do-it-yourself site builders can get that job done. Same thing for Shopify for e-commerce, as well as some other of those platforms. But what if you want to get a little bit more? What about that person that's just looking up backflow prevention or high-end barber's equipment? They're not necessarily going to find those people's sites, and when they get there, if they're not very high quality, there's a good chance they're going to bounce. Technical term alert, that's when somebody goes to a website and then they leave. You may have heard that one before. Where does my journey with websites all begin? Well, my friend with the Wix site, the backflow prevention business, he reached out to me a while back and he said, hey man, can you look at my website? It's on Wix. And I said, okay, this is supposed to be easy. Let's check it out. And so I'm going through, and I have to say, their interface is pretty simple to use. You can drag, drop, all that stuff's really nice. But the thing is when you start to switch between desktop to mobile and you look at it on different devices, sometimes stuff doesn't end up exactly where you placed it. And if you really want to get in tinker, somebody like me that knows a little bit about HTML and CSS, ooh, technical word alert again, then it makes it really hard to actually get in there and dig into the nitty gritty. So I basically just told him, look, I can move some of the buttons around, but there's not a whole lot I can do here. And at that point, my knowledge wasn't good enough to really help him on the HTML and CSS side either. So he just decided to keep his site the way it was. And you know what? It worked for the rest of the season because it's always worked for the warm leads. Now, my other friend who has the high-end barber's equipment website, his Shopify site is decent. Again, it gets the job done, but it's kind of like the user experience is not the best. I think that's the nicest way I can put it. So he asked me, hey, can you take a look? And I took a look, and I will tell you this much. Shopify for the outside person is complicated. There's a lot of stuff going on, and it even has like its own syntax that you have to learn behind the scenes. And again, simple, drag and drop, it works. But if you just want to add a little bit of customization or really make it work for your brand, it's pretty hard actually. So eventually I just told my friend, I'm sorry, I can't help. And that was that. Moved on, worked on some other projects for a while. And then at one point I told myself, hey, I want to build my own website. And I'd heard about this thing called WordPress. I don't know if you've heard this before, but about 40% of websites on the internet are actually built on WordPress. So it must be easy to build websites on WordPress, right? That's what I thought. I knew a little bit about HTML, CSS. I just got done with the project where I did a ton of JavaScript. I'm like a coder now, so I can totally build a website on WordPress. I was wrong. What I did learn along the way was that a lot of people use these professional themes or plugins like Elementor or Divi to build websites using WordPress, and they make really impressive websites. But they cost money, and I was not willing to spend any money on this project, so I gave up. But my friend with the high-end barber equipment came back to me and asked for my help again months later and said, hey, I'll give you the couple bucks to buy the tool, try it out. Now, in the end, we did not end up building his site, but what I did learn is that these tools are awesome. And in the end, I ended up going with a tool that's called Divi, and it is a really cool theme for WordPress, and it lets you do so much so quickly. Now, you still really got to learn this tool, and you really, to unlock Divi, you need to know a thing or two about CSS. Luckily for me, I do. And so that's what really sparked the idea in my brain. I said, hold on a second. Can I do this? I just did this for my friend. Can I do this over and over again? Can I make money off this? And in a very short period of time, I took a bunch of courses. I learned how to do it up, down, side to side, and I'm still learning, but I feel like I've gotten good enough where screw it, let's start a business. And so I did. And I got the LLC, got the business checking account, business credit card, got a P.O. box, got business cards. Like, things are real. And, even got my first client, and I'm pretty excited about that. I'm excited to grow this business and maybe even grow this channel with more videos to help your small business grow. But the reason why I share this last part is because what I want you to take away from this video is that it wasn't until I started to spend about 30 hours a week really learning how to do web design for weeks and weeks and weeks before I felt comfortable making a website that, I look at it and I can say, all right, that's pretty good. And it still, to me, the perfectionist inside of me still, I'm like, I wish I could just change that little thing there or move that thing around. And I'm getting better at being able to do those things. And that took years of coding experience, months and months of work in website design. And I'm just now getting to the point where I'm like, okay, I feel like I can make other people's websites, and I think I could do it well. So that goes back to the person that says, well, I can just build my own website. There's Wix, there's Squarespace, there's all these other things. I'm just going to build my own website. And I say, that's great. If you need something that's simple, you can do it. I have this other friend, and they just have a really simple business, and they have a Google business website, and it's super simple. Call, quote. The quote is a contact form, the call calls them, and it's like 2 scrolls. That's all it is. And you know what? Is it fancy? Is it search engine optimized? No and no. But it gets the job done, and because they're pretty much the only game in town, if you search for it in that town, it's near the top. So sometimes that is all you need. But I believe if you're on this channel, you are a small business owner, you are a creator, or you are an entrepreneur, and you are looking to level up your business. That Wix site that you have ain't gonna cut it. That Shopify site that you just can't, I just wanna move that button from right there down to here, it's not gonna cut it, okay? Finding an independent web designer, or even, again, if you can afford it, like I mentioned in videos, if you can get a web design agency, great, but I'm gonna guess that in the range of my target audience, you probably can't afford a web design agency, but that's okay, because there's an independent website designer out there looking for you. And hey, maybe it's me. If it is me, head over to thencandesigns.com right now. I can help you build a site from scratch. I can help you redesign your site, and we can really turn your site into something beautiful. thencandesigns.com today if you want a better website. But if you still think that you want to build your own website, I highly encourage you to do it. It's just going to take some time. Look up the tutorials for the website builder that you're working on, and I guarantee that if you're willing to devote a couple weeks out of your life, you will get to a point where you can build a site that you're at least somewhat happy with, and you can always reach out to people in the community, because I'm sure somebody will at least be able to help you, and then you'll be able to help your business grow, and that's really what this channel is all about. All right, that's all I got on DIY website builders, and probably the last time I'll ever talk about them, and that's my story of how I became a website designer myself. If you found this video useful, hit the like button below. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to hit the subscribe button and that little ding thing so you get notified the next time there's a video. And if you have any ideas for future videos or any thoughts, you can leave them below in the comments, and you can always head over to thencandesigns.com if you're looking for a website or a website rebuild. Thank you for sticking around this long, and before we part ways, I just remind everybody to strive. If you ain't striving, you're staying in the same place. And if you're staying in the same place, are you really living? Ponder that for the day. Hopefully next time I have some glasses so I can actually see what the heck I'm doing. Until next time.